Hi. So, I'm making this video because something happened to myself and a few other ladies where I work. And, we've given enough time for it to be handled, and apparently it's not something that they want to handle. So, I decided to compose a letter. I put it on some desks of some pretty important people this morning before I left for the day. And I'm going to read that letter. I just feel like this is something that needs some attention. It's 2017, and we shouldn't have to be hearing things like this or dealing with things like this, or, you know, we're supposed to be like human equal rights, and I don't know. I feel pretty passionately about this for my own personal reasons, and I feel like this is something that I need to stand up for. So with that being said, because I put this letter on the desks of some pretty important people, I'm gonna give them, you know, a little bit of time to kind of decide what they feel that they should do, or whatnot. This is a battle that I feel is kind of bigger than myself, but I have support, and what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So with that being said, again, I'm going to read the letter. On June 28th, myself along with a group of female coworkers were pulled away from our work areas 6 hours into our shift and called to a meeting in front of our boss's office. We were then singled out and lined up to determine whether or not we were in dress code guidelines. Our boss picked out the women that he determined was a distraction. Even though all of us who were sent home were well within the guidelines. A few ladies were offered to go home and come back after they changed. The rest of us were declined that offer after we protested the situation. We were told to come back tomorrow with the right pants on and a better attitude, because he had already clocked us out. I can't speak for the other women, but I can tell you that I felt shamed, humiliated, and violated as we were led from one end of the shop pretty much to the other. During this time, our boss was kind of grasping at straws, and he even asked some of the passing gentlemen coworkers, he said, who's distracting, or who should be sent home for not following dress code? This was even after a female union steward told him to stop, and that he was handling how he was handling the situation was wrong, and that she would not be picking out people to be sent home. We were told, I don't want to hear it, and no, because I said so. When asked if we could finish our shift and at least just take a write-up. The truth is, sexual harassment or harassment of any kind is not only a violation of human rights, but it hurts people. It hurts people mentally and emotionally, and it can have lasting effects on people. I'll clarify. It's like that sinking feeling that your stomach gets, like when it hits your toes, when you're approached by a stranger on the street and you're followed until you get that like sick feeling because they're yelling out these vulgar things about your body. Like they're trying to get your attention. Or that guy at work who he stands too close, or he stares a little too long, and he makes you feel like creeped out and uncomfortable in your skin. Yet when you bring it up and you voice your concerns, it falls on deaf ears, or it's laughed about because you're blowing things out of proportion. We live and work in a world where the word female means weak and the word male means excuse. Where women standing up for themselves or others gets them labeled feminist or drama queen. And it strikes up more of a controversy than men laughing at rape jokes or passing judgment on our bodies. We're expected to say nothing and sit back while we hear our identities quickly being turned from human being to object. It's a feeling of fear and terror. It's a violation that 1 out of 4 women will feel or have felt at least once in their lifetime when someone has grabbed her or forced themselves on her after she has said no. We hear stories from our moms and our grandmas about how, back in the day, bosses could treat women who worked for them any way they pleased. And they would ask them to jump through hurdle after hurdle. It was impossible. And it would never, ever, ever be good enough. So many women have worked entirely way too hard to end this kind of abuse and disrespect. Here it is, 2017. And we're fighting the same fight and we're hearing the same stories every single day. We do what is expected of us and we do what we have always done. We keep our heads above water, provide for our families, and we pretend that this kind of stuff really doesn't bother us. Maybe we think that admitting how much it hurts, it makes us look weak as women. Maybe we're afraid of showing that this kind of vulnerability. Maybe we've grown accustomed to this kind of behavior and we swallow our feelings and our emotions, stay quiet, and we don't make matters worse for ourselves. We have seen so many times that people don't take our word over his, or how little as women we are taken seriously. It has been almost a month since this happened. On June 29th, when a few of us had a meeting with the union, this is the day after the incident happened. We asked for the time that we lost in pay, the hours that we lost for being sent home, and an apology. We have no answers. They want us to come find them for answers. Like, we have to say, hey, something gonna be done? We have not gotten paid for the hours that we were docked. And we have no hours. Nothing close to any kind of an apology from him or anyone. And it seems to be that this is being treated as if it was just another issue to be ignored or swept under the rug per se. As if our outrage is overblown and unwarranted. Like this is some kind of normal, everyday thing. Let's be clear. Sexual harassment or harassment of any kind, it's not normal. Being made to feel unsafe or uncomfortable is not normal. Having to work in a hostile work environment or be subject to retaliation, it's not normal. It's disrespectful and it is intolerable. Something needs to be done and someone needs to be held accountable. So, as you can tell, I'm kind of passionate about this kind of thing. That's because I am one of those 4 women. I am a rape survivor. You don't know what people have gone through in their life. You don't know how it affects them as an adult or as a person. So your behavior and how you treat people, it's important. And you really need to think about what you're doing and how you speak to people. It's just something that I feel that as a woman, as a mother of daughters, this is something I need to stand up for. And I really hope that the company that I work for and these people really do the right thing. Thank you.